Hi guys, I hope you are doing well. This is part 2 of Python NumPy tutorial. In this session, we will be discuss about Python NumPy array in greater details. So to watch this session, I will recommend to watch the previous session of NumPy tutorial. In that session, we have discussed about NumPy and why and when to use NumPy package in data science. Okay, so you can find that particular video link in description in I button also. Okay, so for today, we will be discuss about NumPy array tutorial in greater details. So guys, NumPy package provides n-dimensional array object, means ND array object, right? So using n-dimensional array, we can store multiple array item with the same data type. Please remember, same data type. So guys, as you know, array is the collection of similar data type. So we cannot store item in array with different kind of data type. Fine. It means at the same time, we can store only same data type. Fine. This thing you have to remember. And NumPy main object is the homogeneous multi-dimensional array object. Okay. So for today's session, these are the topic you will learn. So first of all, we will discuss how we can create array using the array function of NumPy, how we can create Python array from list, create Python array using the tuple data structure, what is the 1D, 2D, 3D dimensional array, right? How we can create NumPy array using the arrange method. What is the other very useful NumPy method we will be discussed in today's session. Fine. So let me go to the Jupyter notebook to understand the NumPy array. So guys, first of all, we have to import the NumPy package. Okay, so I have already import NumPy as np. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to tell you how we can use the array function, right? So guys, array function which helps you to create an array or convert the data from list, tuple, or iterable to n-dimensional array, right? So I'm going to taking a variable which is array equal to np.array. And here I'm going to define a list, and inside the list, I'm going to provide some number. Fine. And now I'm going to print that particular array. Okay. So you can see we can store only the similar kind of data type, right? And what if in case if you are going to store the decimal data type in the same array? So let me copy here and paste. If I'm going to provide any number, let's say as a decimal number, so this entire array will be converted in float data type. You can see, fine. In the same way, we can create array using the arrange function. We have already discussed in last session, right? So np.arrange, and here you can provide your start position and your stop position. So for an example, I am providing here 20 and 41. What it means? 3 arguments. So first of all, it will take start position, stop position, and your step size. So here I'm going to provide only starting position and the stop position. Okay, so you can say that we want to create an array then containing numbers between 20 to 40. Okay, so this particular last size will be exclusive. Now let me print this, right? In the same way, how we can create array between 20 to 80 with the step size is 3. Okay, so guys, let's say np.arrange, and here first of all, as I said, you will provide the start position. My start position is 20 and my stop position is 50 and my step size equal to 3. Okay, so it will be start from 20, 23, 26, 29, and so on. Okay, so let me run this. As I said, this particular last size will be exclusive. Okay, in the same way, we can create array from the list data structure as well. So let's say list of number equal to list, and here I can supply the range or only 15 numbers I want. Then after that, what can I do? I'm going to taking a variable array and p.array, and here I can provide that particular list of number, right? Fine. And here I can supply the data type. Okay, so I am saying let's say data type equal to integer 64. Okay, now let me run this array. Fine. So we can create the array from the list data structure or from other data structure also. Now, in case you want to check the data type, so d type, so we will have integer 64. Okay. In the same way, you can change the data type also. Okay. So let me copy this. And here I want to change the data type. Let's say I'm going to change into float data type, right? So even I'm going to provide only the list of number from 0 to 40, But here I'm going to supply the data type float. So this particular array automatically convert float data type, right? Now, if I'm going to check D type, so you will get float 64. Fine. In the same way, let's say np.array, and here I'm saying array and D type equal to or integer 64. Simple. Okay. Now let me give you more example. Let's say I'm going to create a very basic array. Let's say np.array, and here I'm going to create 1, 2, 3. And the next array, I'm going to create np.array. And from the tuple also, I'm going to provide some other number, let's say 4, 5, 6, right? So these are the array. Now, what if when I'm going to say, let's say a plus b, what will happen? Do you think we will get an error? In case if you are going to perform the same operation on the list data structure, of course, you will get an error. In this case, your array will be joined, okay? Let's say vertically 1 plus 4, 2 plus 5, and 3 plus 6. Now let me run this. Fine. Now let me tell you how we can create 0-dimensional array and 1-dimensional array, 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional array, okay? So first of all, I will be create 0-dimensional array, okay? 0-dimensional array. So simple a equal to np.array, and here I'm going to say, let's say 15, okay? Now I am saying print, this is 0-dimensional array. Now I'm going to print the a. Fine. So this is 0-dimensional array. Okay. Now in case I want to check the dimension of this array, so guys, a dot and dim. So this is 0-dimensional array. Okay. Now guys, let me create a 1-dimensional array. So simple create 1-dimensional a1 equal to np.array, and here I'm going to provide the same number. Okay. So when I'm going to check a1 dot and dim 1-dimensional array. Okay. In the same way, let me create 2-dimensional array. For the 2-dimensional array, so let's say a2 equal to np.array, and here I'm going to provide list of lists. So let's say 1, 2, 3, and here I'm going to provide, let's say 4, 5, 6, right? And now I'm going to print a2. So this is my 2-dimensional array. So when you will check a2 dot ndim, so guys, using the ndim, we can check number of dimension, okay? And in the same way, we can create 3rd-dimensional array, okay? So simple a equal to np dot array, and here I will be supply 3 array, right? So 1, 2, 3, and here 4, 5, 6, and again I'm saying 1, 2, 3, and here 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now let me run this. So now let me print. This is my 3rd-dimensional array. Okay. So let me check the dimension also. So guys, this is my 3rd-dimensional array. Okay. And guys, in case you want to create the quickly array, so simple, let's say my 3rd-dimensional array equal to np dot arrange, and here I want 60 number and the same variable, right? Dot shape. So the shape will be, let's say 2, 6, 5. Okay. So that become 60. Okay. Now you can generate or you can run this. So you can see this. So this is my 3rd-dimensional array. In case if I'm going to check, so so we have 3rd-dimensional array. Okay. Now guys, let me tell you what is the Boolean mask array. Okay. So Boolean mask array. Let's suppose I'm going to generate an array with the help of, let's say 200 numbers, right? Now let me print the same array. Okay. So these are the number I have generated integer type of array. From this array, which is my array, I want only those number which is completely divisible by the 7. Okay. So guys, how can I do that? So let's suppose I have my array, all right, and I can mode by 7. Okay, it will give me the remainder. That particular remainder I will check with 0. Okay, so it will return the Boolean value. Now let me run this. So it is returning the false, 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 and true because we have 7. On 14, we are having again the true, right? So now how we can store this Boolean array? So what can I do? So let me create a variable, let's say divisible number by 7, okay? Equal to my array, right? And here I'm going to provide that particular logic, right? So the logic was this one. So simple here, I'm going to provide my Boolean mask array, okay? Now let me run this. So guys, you can see here, we are getting only those number which is completely divisible by the 7, okay? But in case you want to solve this particular problem from the list data structure, then first of all, you need to store all the numbers into the list. Then you need to apply the loop. Then once you apply the loop, then you can print or you can append those particular number into a separate list. Fine. Okay. Now let me print my variable, which is A2. Okay. So this is my the array, which is 2-dimensional. Now, in case I want to check A2 dot shape. Okay. So it will give me the shape, right? So I have 2 rows. You can see that, or you can see the 2 list, 3 columns, right? So this is my the particular shape. In the same way, if I'm going to print the 3rd-dimensional array, now A3 dot shape. So this is 2 by 2 by 3. Okay. So this is, you can see that 2, and this is also a 2 list, and we have like 3 numbers, right? In each we have 3 numbers. Okay. In the same way, in case you want to check the data type, we have already discussed. So A3 dot D type. So we can check the data type also. So guys, now I want to create some array with a specific data type. Okay. So let's say array equal to np dot array. And here I'm saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm going to provide the specific data type, let's say integer bytes. Okay. So now if I'm going to check array dot D type, so this is an integer 8. And if I'm going to check the size of array, okay, so you can say that get size of an array. So simple array dot item size. Okay, so using item size, we can check the array size, right? In the same way, in case if I'm going to check array equal to np dot array, and here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and d type equal to, I'm going to supply integer 16. Okay. In the same way, array dot d type integer 16, and array dot item size will be 2. Okay, will be 2. So guys, in case I want to check the total byte of this array, okay, so how can I do that? So array dot number bytes. Okay, so it will be, let's say 2 multiplied by 5. So we'll have 10, right? But on the other hand, if I'm going to create the array once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here d type equal to integer 64. Integer 64. Now, if I'm going to check the data type, it will give you the integer 64. So array dot item size will be 8. Okay, will be 8. So you can see that. Now, in case if I'm going to check the number of bytes, okay, so guys, it will take 40 bytes size. Okay, fine. And now, in case you want to check how many elements we have in this particular array, so simple array dot size. So array dot size will tell you the size of an array. Okay, so guys, this thing you have to remember. Fine. In the same way, you can create the array based on the float data type also. So let me tell you once again. So np dot array, and here some values with other data type. Let's say float data type, which is 64. Okay. Now, if I'm going to tell you, let's say array dot, let me print the array dot item size, right? In case if I want to array dot size, array dot number of bytes, and array and shape also. Okay. So let me print all the details for this array. Fine. So guys, in the same way, you can convert this data type to float 32 as well. Okay, so simple 32, and the same information I want to print here. So you can see this. Fine. Okay. Now guys, I am saying, let's say in case you want to create the 4-dimensional, 5-dimensional, 7-dimensional array. how you can create. So it is a very simple method. So let's say array equal to np.array. Okay. What you can do here, you can supply whatever the numbers you want. And here you can say that number of dimension and d min equal to, let's say, 5-dimensional array I want to create. Okay. That particular array, and print number of dimensions of this array. So simple array. So guys, you can see this. We are getting number of dimension means how we can get the number of dimension, array dot and them. So guys, we are getting 5-dimension array. Okay, so this thing you have to remember. Fine. So guys, as I said, you can perform any operation on array, just like arithmetic operation. Okay, array multiply by 2 or multiply by 3. And guys, in the same way, we can create numpy array using the tuple data structure also. Okay. Now, so guys, now let me tell you how we can create the Boolean array. So simple b equal to np.array. Here you can provide true, false, false, and true. And now let me run this particular array. So let's say print and b. So when you will check the type of array, the Boolean array. Okay. Now let me tell you lin space method. So simple lin space array np.lin space, and here you need to supply your start position. So start equal to 0 and stop equal to 50 and your number equal to, let's say, 100. Okay, now let me run this. Sorry, it has to be stopped. So guys, we are getting, let's say, how many numbers I'm getting? 100 numbers between 0 to 50. Okay. Now, in case you want only the 50 number or only the 10 number, so simple np dot in space. Again, here you can supply your starting position and your end position. Only 10 numbers you want. Okay. Every time you will get the number by default in decimal. Okay. Now, in case or I want to change the data type, now you will get the number into the integer data type. Okay. In the same way, we will be discuss how we can use the Python 0 array. Okay. So the Python numpy 0 function creates an array of zeros. Okay. So np dot zeros, let's say 5. Okay. In the same way, np dot zeros, and here I'm going to provide 2 by 2, 2-dimensional array. In the same way, let's say 0 equal to np dot zeros, and here I'm saying, let's say 3 comma 2 comma 7. Okay. So guys, we will have 7 element in single row of each array and 6 element in each column of array. Okay. So now let me print the 0. Okay. So you can see here, we are getting the 7 here and we are getting 6 element vertically. Fine. In case I want to check the shape of this particular array, so 0 dot shape. Okay, so this is the shape. Now 0 dot size, how many element I will get here? So guys, 42 elements. Okay, so 3 to multiply by 6 and 6 multiply by 7 become 42. In the same way, you can create the all ones array. Okay, so simple np dot ones and 3 comma 2 comma 7, and here you can specify the data type. So let's say data type equal to integer 32. Okay, so what is the problem here? Np dot ones. Okay, in the same way, you can provide the some other kind of dimensional 2 by 3. Okay, so by default, it will give you the float data type. In case you want to change, yes, you can change the data type also. Simple. Okay, create an array which contain 10 elements and every element should be 3. Okay, so how can I do that? So np dot how many element I want? 10 element I want, and let's say data type equal to I want int. Okay, by default it will give you the float. And what can I do here? Reshape. Let's say 2 multiplied by 5, and here I'm saying only 3 I want. In the same way, np dot ones, and you want only the 10 numbers of 5, right? So by default, it will give you the ones, right? So what I'm doing, I'm going to multiply by the 5. So it's become 5. And right now, it will give you the float data type. Okay. The very important part of NumPy, how we can generate a random array. Okay. So guys, let me write here a random array. So how we can generate the random array? So simple, what you can do, np dot random dot random, right? And here I'm going to provide the 5. Okay. So guys, this NumPy will give you the some random numbers between 0 to 1, always 0 to 1 in float data type. Okay. Let's say 20 numbers I want. So all these numbers you will get between 0 to 1. In the same way, here also you can provide some dimensional, let's say I want 2, 3, 4, third dimensional array I want. So we can generate the third dimensional array between 0 to 1. We have another method which is np dot random dot rand. Okay. And here also you can provide the, let's say, some dimensional, always 0 to 1 also. Fine. In the same way, what you can do, np dot random dot rand int, we can use the rand int also. But using the rand int, you will generate integer data type. Okay. Now here I'm going to supply the dimension, let's say 3 by 3. Okay. Now let me run this. So you can see this. I want to generate once again random integer array. So np dot random dot rand int, and here I want 10 numbers. The size equal to, let's say, 3 by 3. Okay. So always your array between 1 to 10, the size will be 3 by 3. Fine. And here also you can supply some, negative number also. So random dot rand int, and here let's say your starting position. For an example, you can supply, you can see this is your low and high and size 2 minus 4. Okay. And your high is equal to 5 and your size equal to, I'm going to provide the 3 by 3. Okay. Now let me run. Okay. So between -4 to 5. In case you want to generate only single number, okay, simple np dot random dot rand int and 10 to 100. So every time it will give you the unique number. Okay. Single number. Now let me tell you how we can generate some random number. Okay. So let's say I'm going to take a variable random number equal to, now for I in range, only 50 numbers I want to generate. So what can I do? Random number dot append and np dot random dot rand int. And guys, here you can supply low equal to 0 and high equal to 100. This one. Okay. Now let me print the random number. Simple. Okay. So using the loop right now, we are generating the 50 numbers. So without looping also, you can generate these random numbers. Okay. This is a very elegant method. So np dot random dot rand int, and here you can supply, let's say, low. You want to start from 10. Okay. And your high will be, let's say, 100. Or how many numbers you want? Let's say I want 80 numbers. 80 numbers I want to generate between 10 to 100. So simple. Okay. So you can see all the numbers are between 10 to 100 and the size will be 80. Okay. So simple. I'm going to ask very basic question. I want to create 1D array, then convert it into third dimensional array. How we can do that? So let's say np dot random. Okay. And rand int, and this is how many number I want. Let's say 50 or 25 numbers I want. So this is what? This is my one dimensional array. How can I convert this same array into the third dimensional array? So guys, simple, we can use here reshape. Okay. 3, 4, 2. So it has to be, size should be same. So I'm going to take, let's say, even number. What can I do? 3, 4, and 2, right? Now let me run this. So you can see this, we can convert the one-dimensional array into the third dimensional array as well. Okay. Now guys, another question is, I want to create array, okay, and containing 20 random number, okay, an integer, right? And I want to replace every even number. Okay, so replace every even number by -1. Okay, so how can I do that? Okay, don't use of loop to solve this particular question. Fine. This thing you have to remember. Okay. So guys, now I'm going to tell you how we can use the seed method. This is very, very important. Okay. Seed method. Let's say I want to generate some number. So for I in range, let's say 30 or let's say 10 only. Now, any number of integer value you can pass here. Okay. So as of now, let's say I want only the 10. Now np dot random and seed, let's say you can pass any number here. Okay. So I'm going to provide, let's say 7. Okay. So now what I want, print np dot random dot rand int and 1 to 100. Now let me run this. Every time I'm getting the same number. Okay. In case if you want to generate the same number again and again, then you can use seed. Now, in case you want to change this particular variable or the value once again, so if you will run once again, what will happen? The number will remain same. It will not change. It will change when you will change this particular number, let's say 1. You will have some kind of different number, 2 will different number, and again on the 7, we will get once again 48. Okay. So guys, the value in the numpy random seed saves the state of randomness. Okay. If we call the seed function using the same value multiple times, the computer display the same random numbers. Okay. But when the value is not mentioned in the numpy random seed, okay, then what will happen? Then the computer will use the current system time in second or millisecond as a seed value to generate a different set of random numbers. Okay, let me tell you once again. So let's say np dot random dot seed, and now I am using here 3, right? Now I am going to generate, let's say print np dot random dot rand int, and here I'm going to provide some interval, let's say 800. So every time I will get the same number. You can see. Let me run once again 3 and okay. So when you will generate with the help of combination of these two, so you will see you will get the same number. Fine. Okay. So if you are not using the seed method, then of course you will get the new value. This one 349. If I'm going to run this, okay, so 764. So it will save the previous value every time. Okay. So this thing you have to remember. Now guys, the another very, very important method, which is a random choice method. Okay. Let me create a list of name. Here I am saying Amit and Ashok and Ajit, let's say Mohan and some other name also, or these are the list of name I'm going to define. Now what I'm doing, np.random.choice, and the choice I'm going to supply my list of name. Okay, every time I want 3 number, it could be anything. Okay, and I don't want to replace, so I'm using here replace equal to false. Now let me run this. So guys, you can see here every time I'm getting the 3 random choice name here. Okay, so let me run once again, so you will get some kind of different name. So this is also like very good, you know, method to generate or to some random name from your list data structure or from any other data structure also. Okay. In the same way, another method is numpy repeat method. Fine. So how we can repeat an array? So let's say array equal to np.array, and here 1, 2, 3. Now I want to repeat the array. So np.repeat, and here array and 3. 3 times I want to repeat this array. So simple. You can see this. Now, in case you want to change the dimensional or dimension of this array, yes, you can change the dimension of this array also. So I'm saying, let's say axis equal to 0. Okay, now let me run this. So you can see np dot repeat. Okay, let me store this particular array in different way. Okay, so this is the one dimensional. In case if I'm going to provide here two dimensional, and if I'm using here the axis equal to 0, simple. Okay, and in the same way, if I'm going to use here axis equal to 1, so this is the array will be generated. Fine. In the same way, another method is which is empty array. How we can create the empty array? Okay, so it will return a new array given shape of type without initializing entries. Right? So this is your empty array. In the same way, np dot empty, and here I'm going to provide dimension 2 by 3. Okay, so we can have this kind of array. In the same way, another method which is full array method. Okay, so np dot full, and here you can use 5 comma 1. In the same way, if you are using np dot full, if you are going to say, let's say 5, and programming is fun, repeat 5 times, programming is fun. Now in the same way, np dot full, let's say how many times? 10, and only 100 I want. So you can see this, and you can change the data type also. So let's say 10, and let's say 100 value, and the type equal to float 8. Okay, so we can generate this one also. In the same way, in case you want to change the dimensional, yes, you can change the dimension also. Let's say 2 by 2, and I want only the 99s. Okay, in the same way, np dot full third dimensional array, if I'm going to create here, so I can supply 2 by 2 by 3, and the value will be 99 only, and data type I'm saying float 32. Simple. Okay, so guys, these methods are very useful. Okay, in the same way, we can have Python identical array. Okay, or you can say that Numpy identical array. Okay, so how we can generate the identical array? So np dot identity, and here I want only, let's say 5 rows. So we can have, so right now, let's say if I'm going to change into the data type also, so d type I want integer 4. Okay, so this is the integer. In the same way, np dot I method, very important method you need to remember. np dot I 5 by 5. Okay, now let's say np dot I, and here I want 6. Okay, I want 6, you can say that list, and into the 6 list I want 3 element. Okay, so so here we will get diagonally, we have 6 by 3 order, right? So you can see here. Okay, as we have seen 5 by 5 also. Okay, in the same way we can create the diagonal array. Okay, so let me create the diagonal array. So np dot diag, and here I want 5, so it is giving me the one dimensional array. Okay, only, or let's say 2 dimensional array, but I want only the single element. But np dot diag, now I am going to change the order 2 by 3, so it will give me the whatever the number you are going to provide, 2 by 3. Okay, in the same way, if I'm saying, let's say np dot diag, and here I'm going to provide 2 by 9, what will happen? It will give you the 2, 0, and 0 and 9. Okay, now in the same way, if I'm going to provide here np dot diag, and here 1 comma 2 comma 3 4 comma 5, now what will happen? First of all, it will give you the 1 0 0 0. Okay, and for 0 2, and 0 0 3, 0 0 4, and 0 0 0 5. Okay, now let me run this. Okay, so guys, in NumPy, diag function create an identical array of n-dimensional array where diagonal value filled with the list value. So you can see that I provide this list value, and these particular value filled with your diag value. Okay, So guys, I hope you understood about the Python NumPy array. Okay, so how we can use the NumPy array and how we can use the NumPy built-in method. Okay, so guys, these method will help you a lot perform the NumPy array operations. Okay, so these operations really helpful in data science and in data analytics. Okay, so in case do you have any kind of question, you can post your question or your doubt or your suggestion. It could be anything in the comment. Okay, so guys, do practice of this session as much as you can. Thanks for watching and have a great day.